18th, 2025 of the Park Board of Directors regular meeting to order at 6 o'clock. At this time, I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you all. I do want to introduce, we have 3 new board members. Only 2 of them currently are present. One is Nicholas Anderson and Shannon Locke, and Blake Walbrink is not here yet. I hope everyone had the chance to look at the minutes from the July 21st, 2025 meeting. I make a motion that we approve those minutes, and I entertain a second. We have a second. Any discussion, changes, corrections? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Present communications, every odd-numbered year, we elect our officers. There's 3 officers: financial officer, vice president, and president of the park board, and that's a 2-year term. Normally, we do that in June. However, with the delay in appointing the new board members, we're doing it now. Just remind everyone, you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Nominate, thank you. You can nominate yourself or nominate someone else. So we'll start off with...
I make a motion, we keep the same officers.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations for president? Any other nominations for vice president? Any other nomination for financial officer?
I'm not making a nomination, but I'm not sure. Jennifer Garner is our financial officer, just so the new folks know.
Any discussion?
I'll just say from my point, I mean, we have. Mic on.
That's a bold move.
It's a way to shut a guy up, man, turn the mic off. I just think you guys have done a good job running our board, and with 3 new members and everybody coming on new, I think, you know, some of us have only been around for a year also, so I think the continuity will lead us in a good direction.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that?
I concur with Dave.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on with personal appearances, Jenna Hernandez. I'm sorry, what?
We had a
Oh, Fernandez, I'm sorry.
so that
That's
was
why you
my
looked at me like with a stare, like,
so
who are
that's
you?
my apologies.
You have the podium.
But
Thank you guys for having me. It is Fernandez. That's okay. I think so. I just have to be closer. Okay. So, a little introduction from me, because I think you've only ever seen me once before. I did a presentation to you guys during the comprehensive plan when that was ongoing. But since then, we've had the comprehensive plan adopted, which is great. And we've already started on some implementation of that. I'm the city planner with the city of Belton, and I've been here roughly 3 years. And I have a parks planning background. I came from a private firm called Landmark Studio, where I did parks master plans for roughly 8 to 10 cities across the Midwest. So I'm very familiar with parks planning and all of the cool stuff that it comes with. But as a city planner, obviously that influences my decision-making and how I approach different developments in my day-to-day job here. So I kind of spearheaded this beautification plan, which was one of the things that came out of the comprehensive plan. Beautification came number one on a lot of different survey questions in the comprehensive plan and in the Parks Master Plan survey. So this is kind of our first step into getting together a committee where we can talk about all things Belton beautification and see how we can all work together. So this really kicked off last year in August. And the beautification committee was myself from community development, the community development director, Mike Eakey, our economic development director, public works staff, and specifically the landscapers from Public Works that handle a lot of our public infrastructure, medians, things like that, as well as Kevin from Parks and Tyler Farrow on the tree board. So kind of a mishmash of different staff put together to help tackle beautification citywide. So we got together and we started from the ground zero on this. It was vision statement, goal setting, existing conditions analysis, and through all of that work, we came up with a vision statement, and that is to provide a vibrant, sustainable, and walkable community through intentional beautification, engaging signage, public art, and cohesive community identity. So with this plan, we're tackling landscaping beautification, wayfinding signage, public art, all of those different aspects all into kind of one plan so we can have a cohesive city. So some of our goals with this plan, and this is very long term, we're starting with phase 1, but overall, our goals are to improve the urban tree canopy, to improve community aesthetics, implement environmental education signage, designate areas for art and public spaces, establish a unique plant list for Belton, increase visual recognition through wayfinding signage, and implement sustainable maintenance practices. So those are our overarching goals. In here, there's some snapshots of different key survey responses that came from the comprehensive plan and the Parks Master Plan. So that just kind of goes over where the community is at in terms of wanting more beautification citywide. Through our existing conditions analysis, we created a survey for us to go on site throughout the city and rank and create a matrix of how we currently are in terms of beautification. And the back of this has the actual survey if you're interested in what those questions were. But essentially we had 6 different categories. Each category was worth 5 points. So we went around the city looking at medians, looking at park entry areas, looking at roundabouts, looking at commercial corridors, things like that, and ranking how beautiful they were, essentially, based on these different methodologies. But our biggest observations were that based on these categories, the community benefit was the lowest scoring section of that. So essentially, how much does this impact the community by having it exist, essentially? So the community benefit, which means we need more meaningful beautification throughout the city. We had a lack of landscaping in general as a big issue. So our medians or entry areas or corners or anything like that that really affects public space, we just don't have as much landscaping as we could. And what we did learn was that established areas, in certain areas like boulevards or medians, that there was a lack of trash, so that's great. So whatever is established, we're taking good care of it. This is a quick summary of those existing conditions report that we did. We had maintenance of landscaping, we had junk, trash, debris, and weeds, use of landscaping practices, community benefit, and overall appearance. And those are kind of our main categories there. So on average, out of a total of 25 points, we're ranging in the 12.2. So around 50%. So obviously there's some room to grow there. But that is basically without any existing beautification plan. We have one that's very bare bones, but without anything, we're ranging in the 12.2.
Jenna,
Yeah,
can you go back to that
Sure.
slide? So, making an assumption, level 1, not good, level 5, great? Or is it the other way around?
yes.
When you're looking at the average scores?
Yes.
So so the scores weren't,
They were
yeah.
Yeah. And we aren't done. So we aren't done with our existing conditions analysis. We kind of focused on phase 1 as like a pilot project. So we really tried to make sure we were surveying those areas first because obviously the city is big and we haven't done everything yet. But this is, if you look at the little pie chart there, majority of this was the major intersections, boulevards, and then certain art locations, as well as park entry areas. And so we were really focusing on certain stuff. But as this goes on, we will continue to do more existing conditions.
Can you tell us who took the survey, how it was distributed?
So everyone on the committee took the survey. So we all kind of went out in the community. It's a online on your phone type of survey. So we're out in the field, we're documenting as we're there. So yeah, we all kind of chipped in on that.
I honestly think, like, I live on 163rd on the east side.
Yeah.
Like, the meetings look great right now. I mean, they look fantastic. I think I'm not so sure it comes down to the fact that it looks great. I think it's maybe the upkeep as time goes along, and summer doesn't help, obviously, but, I mean, right now, would they just finish that one right by Casey's? It looks fantastic, so.
Yeah, that side of the highway was installed based on this plan that we're talking about here today. So obviously, we're running kind of concurrently with installation just based on weather. But that was kind of a group effort in terms of what went in there.
So I might have missed that. When was this survey done?
Back when we started, so that was like kind of our phase 1 was existing conditions. So that was roughly August of last year. Okay, so we did our existing conditions analysis, we did our visioning, we did our goal setting. So then we went on to prioritization. So that was really based on what impacts the public the most. So what is our hard-hitting projects that we could do as a pilot to really kick this off? So this is our map of what we're working with entire plan-wise. So this is 5 years plus, we're kind of thinking in our head. But essentially, the dark blue areas are the major intersections or boulevards that we're going to be focusing on. Light blue dots are monument areas, so your monument signs. The yellow dots are art areas, so pedestals for different sculptures and things. And then the orange are commercial corridors. So these are all, and then the green are park entries. So these are what we're thinking broad picture, 5 years plus of trying to tackle these different corridors with different techniques and trying to focus on making these places more beautiful. So when we're talking about monument signs, we're referring to this new set of monument signs that we had put together roughly last year, I think. So the new Belton branding, and then the wayfinding signs, phase 1 has already gone in, if you've seen those. And then the boulevards, we're looking at the different median plantings, increasing the amount of aesthetically planted areas in that, roundabouts, commercial corridors, park entry areas, trying to increase the landscaping there. So, as we moved into our pilot projects, we really narrowed it down to the 163rd Street medians because they are pretty in your face when you come into the city. East Markey Parkway, the existing Markey Parkway, as well as the extension that's going in now. Main Street, and then the South Mullen Road roundabout. Try to say that 3 times fast. So those are the kind of things we're going to be touching on this fall and trying to get as much as we can in landscaping wise. During the budget cycle, Greg Rokos, our Public Works Director, set aside $75,000 for beautification in the street budget. So that's what we're working with right now in terms of installation money. And then Mike Geeky, our Economic Development Director, set aside $20,000 for wayfinding signage and monument signage. So that's kind of the budget we're working with right now for this budget year. So the 163rd Street medians, obviously, one of them, the large one, is just dirt right now. What's going in there is irrigation. So it was not previously irrigated, so we are putting in irrigation. And the plan for that is kind of this. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see. But essentially, we are starting over. We're going to be moving towards maintenance-friendly landscaping, so perennial flowers, perennial grasses, native grasses, river, birch trees, redbud trees, and including a place for our new monument sign as well as an art piece. So that would be on the large section or the southern side of 149. But the northern side has kind of already gone in, minus maybe some perennial flowers. So that's kind of already been installed. But this is what we're looking at for fall installation right now. And then the East Markey Parkway existing and extension, whatever's currently on Markey Parkway, we're looking to just continue that into the extension. So it's mostly junipers and trees, and then possibly some perennial flowers get mixed in there, as well as a art piece on the extension. So when we say that, we're really just looking at locations for pedestals. So it's a concrete pad with electrical and some lighting for our art commission to select and place art pieces. And then Main Street, we have a couple of upgrades in the pipeline for Main Street. There are 2 entry monument signs that say Main Street on them. Those would be triangles, so you would see it from all the different sides, and internally lit. And those would be placed at the entry of Main Street and Cedar. I think some grasses have already been planted there. But otherwise, on Main Street, in front of the annex here, some old stuff is going to get ripped out and some new plants put in, and then a new seating area. And then the container plantings will be switched to more of a perennial blend rather than an annual blend, so to cut down on the maintenance there. And then the South Mullen Road roundabout, which is pretty new, just south of Traditions. It's a larger roundabout, so we are not as concerned about cars driving straight through the middle. So we are going to put a larger art pedestal in the center and then do some perennial flowers, grasses, and shrubs around the edges to make it nice. So that is kind of our phase 1 plan. We're still working through cost estimation right now. But you know, if you have any feedback on phase 1, please let me know. But those are kind of our pilot projects. And then another goal that we had was to have our own plant list to essentially have a cohesive brand or look to our medians or corners or anything like that to keep, like if someone's driving through Belton, you know where you are just because everything looks cohesive. So the committee with the landscapers from Public Works put together this plant list to hopefully use it to install more maintenance-friendly plants over time and pick natives that work well and look nice throughout the year. Cost estimates are pending. Key partnerships, that's why I'm here. I think the park board is a great partner to have in this, and I've loved working with Kevin. you know, as we start to move into like phase 2, I think we're probably going to touch more on park entry areas and trying to work with that and maybe signage or something along those lines to try to help connect people into parks and really bring them in and make sure that those entry areas are looking nice and cohesive with the rest of the streetscaping.
That was going to be one of my questions was, I guess I'm on the park board, so.
Yeah.
Are we going to, what do you call, what's that sign called along Y Highway that tells you where Main Street? Is that a pedestal sign or signage?
The wayfinding,
Yeah, like, are we
Yeah.
going to do that on the other side of town, on the east side, like for the parks and things like that, or a pedestal sign or something like that?
yeah, so Parks has set aside some money this past year. We'll probably continue to partner going forward. But yeah, so the wayfinding signs are really like municipal buildings and parks, like really just our major destinations right now until we figure out something else that maybe needs to go on a sign. But yeah, the parks are definitely our destinations that are going on those signs. So we have a larger map. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I put together a larger map that shows multiple phases of where those might go. So we do have a plan that has quite a few more.
Have you shared or do you have, Vanda, the color palette or have you shared the branding colors at this time?
I have a parent, I haven't.
Okay.
I think so, back when we had the communication committee, maybe. But yeah, the new brand has been around for a little bit at this point. And I think there's a brand sheet that's been floating around. But our communications person, that's relatively new, has all that stuff too, but
Thank you. And
readily available if need be.
Kevin, looking at those trees, do we have any of those in our tree farm? We have some of those?
Yeah, I requested that Pablo and Jared, those are the two guys from Public Works that do all the landscaping, that they get with parks to see what trees are available and try to use those first before they purchase any. We just had that meeting today, so. Otherwise, I presented this plan to Planning Commission 2 weeks ago, and then the Director of Community Development presented it to Council last week. So I don't know if you guys watched that meeting, but council asked that we approve this plan every year. So to kind of bring it back up, specifically Alex, I think, asked that we bring this back up every year to kind of hold ourselves accountable and make sure that we are, you know, continuously trying to move this forward. So whoever would like to join the beautification committee, we're always looking for more hands and ideas, obviously. So we would also love to work with the Urban Forestry Council on trying to get more trees installed. Like, we're really trying to make this a all-encompassing, everyone works together, everyone shares resources sort of thing, so.
Fantastic. Any questions or comments?
Have you considered working with the Master Gardeners Association to maybe get some of the landscaping done as volunteer work?
I have not thought of that.
Because that's one of the objectives. With the Master Gardeners, they are supposed to do volunteer work and do a landscaping project.
Okay.
So that may get you some free resources.
Master Gardener, do we have something like that locally?
I would think so, but I don't know for sure. I did my work a long time ago.
Okay.
I have worked with them in the past, but it's something that we could re-engage them in.
MU also has a lot of extension programs. There's one in the area, and they are actively involved in this kind of work. So that might be another resource, yeah.
That's, MU is the one that sponsors Master Gardeners.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
This time we'll move on to the rock stars of the quarter. Brian.
Okay. For our 3 new park board members, we do a quarterly recognition program where all of our employees can nominate either a full-time or a part-time employee for what we call our Rockstar of the Quarter Award. And then at the end of the year, the 3 directors, we choose a Rockstar of the Year. So basically our Employee of the Year that we recognize at our annual Employee Appreciation Banquet, which is typically 1st of April. So our part-time second quarter Rockstar for 2025 is Brooke Welch. She was unable to be here tonight, but she's been with us for a long, long time and does a lot of different jobs for Belton Parks and Rec. She does a lot of recreation supervision work, so she's the first one into the concession stands to inventory, count up money, and then she supervises our part-time staff throughout the evening, and then she's often the last one to leave. And she also does a lot of setup and tear down for our weddings and our rentals at the station. So congratulations to Brooke. And also, we didn't have any full times last quarter, but this quarter we have Holden Brown. He's our full-time Rockstar of the War, so you get to come up here, Holden. Holden is our high blue maintenance technician. They couldn't be here last month, so he has been given his award. And so his award, both awards, back to the new members. We have a case at High Blue with an electric guitar in it. And these glass stars with their names are located in that. And they're set up on show for 3 months until we have the next quarterly award. So, and then their photos. So Holden does a lot for us. He's our main maintenance tech for High Blue, but he also does a lot of outside help with our maintenance crews. The last couple of weeks, probably month, he's been outside in the heat and the elements working on the rose garden and does a tremendous job for us. So congratulations, Holden. Appreciate it. Would you like to talk?
Okay, we'll move on to the councilman liaison report. Alex?
All right. Just real quick on the beautification. It was me indeed that asked that we revisit this yearly for a couple of reasons. I just thought I'd point it out. One being that we had lost sight of the fact that we had a beautification plan. So I wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. And then also consistency, right, is important for this type of project. We want to not only look consistent across the city, working with parks, entrances, those kinds of things, but also we don't want to be deciding to make that change every 2 years or every year or however often. So when we can have that put in front of us to see what's going on, that was my thought process there. And obviously, great partnership, as was discussed. A couple of things that I do have for you all that obviously have direct effect, which is the tax levy for the city as well as parks, did pass the first reading in front of council. There was a public hearing. No one spoke at that public hearing. So there will be that'll be coming up for the second reading at our next meeting. We also passed the first reading of work being done to fix our water mains around town. As a reminder, this is a adaptation of the bond approval that had passed by voters in 2022. In 2022, I believe. I can look up there, Dave Clark. But anyways, so we're actually saving the city some money here by using this route because we're going to use a SRF loan instead of those bonds. So hopefully in interest, it'll actually end up saving us a lot of money. So pretty awesome, pretty excited about that, being brought forward. And then, so one of the things you're going to hear me mention, because I hear this, probably one of the most frequent things I hear about people, concerns people have is related to the expansion of I-49 or potential expansion of I-49 from those 2 lanes to 3 lanes. There is a meeting coming up to discuss that on October 2nd. So I have been trying my best to share that. So I thought I would share that with you all. As a reminder, we have, I don't expect you all to have forgotten, but as a reminder, we do have the August 25th joint meeting between the Parks and Council. And then the last thing, I just want to say thank you to Mary, Zeb, and Rusty for all their years of dedication. I appreciate their leadership here on the Park Board, and I want to say congrats to Nick, Shannon, and Blake for volunteering your time. So that's everything I got, and if anybody has questions.
Just, do you guys know how far they're going to go down on I-49? Are they going to stop at Cass Parkway, or are they going to stop at 58?
Yeah, the latest plans that we've seen, and I'm pretty sure this is how they're moving forward, is they're designing just to take the 3 lanes to 58, and so south of 58 it would remain 2 lanes all the way down. But they are, I believe, also doing the redesign of the bridge, the 58 I-49 bridge, at the same time, so they can get it all done at once. And I think they've got a couple other smaller projects as part of it that are a little bit further north that they're going to be doing all at the same time too. So it's going to be a nice, great big mess for us for a little while. In 28, I believe.
Look forward to that. Any other comments, discussion, questions for Alex? Thank you, Alex. Move on to city manager report. Joe?
Yeah, you guys probably have seen that the Marquee extension is about done. They've got the lights that are going to go up there for this portion of that. I believe it's already mostly been striped, and so that'll be opening up any day now. It's almost essentially done. A lot of economic development stuff that's going through. You've probably seen the Olive Gardens construction already being started. Peanut should be open end of this month. Hyper Energy Bar is coming. Handel's Ice Cream should be open pretty soon next to McAllister's. There's maybe even as many as a dozen other projects that are coming down the next couple months that we'll be glad to announce as they come to fruition. So a lot of activity in economic development. And that's about it. He took everything else. So.
Any questions for Joe? Thank you, Joe. Moving on to the Parks and Rec reports, Director's report. Brian?
Much like the city, our department has been extremely busy with a lot of projects going on, a lot of foot traffic at High Blue. That'll probably start to slow up as Belton started school today, and I believe Ray Packett's tomorrow. So, pickleball project should be open the week of Labor Day. So I anticipate Wednesday the 3rd. Pending weather, but they're on schedule. They're finishing up the sanding of the courts today. They'll be flooding the courts the next couple of days to look for any bird baths. Once that happens, they'll put the leveler in, and then they'll start pouring the court complex next week, followed by painting of the lines and the playing surface. So. The ADA dock went boom, boom, boom. It was notification, we'll be here tomorrow. They showed up, they set it up. We did get a Department of Conservation grant for that. They wanted to do an immediate photo, so we got together first thing Friday morning, and the dock is open. So if you haven't seen your email, we'd like to go out immediately following the meeting tonight and take a group photo. For those of you that can make it, we'd love to have you. The Wallace Park walking trail has been completed. We did do a walkover, was that Friday morning, Kevin? We did ask them to come back and attend to a couple of spots, which they're going to do probably sometime this week. As a follow-up to our master plan adoption, we're starting to put together an implementation plan. I would anticipate that'll take at least a month to 45 days. Once that tentative plan is completed, we'll come and do a presentation to you all, followed by city council. So anticipate this plan will compose of things that we know we need internally, along with things that were showed up on the response from our ETC survey from the community a little bit over a year ago. So be it NRPA in Orlando next month. In my 21 years, I actually get to speak at our national conference, and I'm pretty excited about that. Been asked to speak on dealing with the sudden loss of an employee since we experienced that a couple of years ago. So I'll be teaming up with a gentleman, the director from Liberty Parks and Rec. He lost an employee due to an on-the-job train fatality, so BJ and I are going to speak to the delegate in Orlando next month, so. Want to thank Rusty and Mary and Zeb for all their volunteer service. Did a great job for our park board and supported our staff. And I also want to welcome our 3 new members. I've set up a little orientation with them tomorrow night. So you guys be sure to bring any questions that you might have, and hopefully I'll get you started in the right direction. So, any questions?
Thank you, Brian. Move on to department reports in your packet. They're all in there. The first one is aquatics. And anything, Shannon, that you want to highlight? No? Any questions on aquatics?
I have a few.
Imagine.
Only
Go.
Dave, only you can imagine. So first, how long you been here now, Shannon?
Since April.
So, just, how's it going so far? Don't worry that Kevin and Brian here. Just tell us how it's going so far.
No, it's good. Staff has been great.
How about staffing?
Staffing has been a struggle. To be frank and honest, I've been in this industry for 28 years, 29 years, and there's a lot of kids right now that are coming in that want to be lifeguards, and they don't know how to.
That's not a good
So,
thing.
And I don't know if that is because of COVID. I don't know if those are the kids that got lost in that shuffle. They didn't have swim lessons for so long. I'm not really sure. So now I'm working with trying to make relationships with the swim team coaches and things like that. And trying to figure out a way to maybe make a program for people who want to be a lifeguard and learn how to do the pre-reqs and things like that. That's probably been the biggest struggle. We have a ton of people apply, and I would say maybe 25% are
Really?
May I? So the community I moved here from, Nixa, Missouri, they always had in the summertime like a swim camp, and it was basically the pre-lifeguard kind of training camp for their high school students, and it seemed to be really well received. I think that's basically where they were able to funnel their lifeguards from, and it included like, first steps and CPR plus the swim lessons. So, just thought.
Red Cross does do a junior lifeguard program, but I just don't know of any other organizations around here that actually put that as a revenue program or things like that. So trying to figure out what would we do with those people after they get that certification for that program.
I'm pretty sure it was through the parks in Nixon, Missouri, so that's not terribly far. Might be a place to reach out and ask.
So you'd think I'd know this since I'm on the school board, but I don't know this. How are we competing against, are we still competing against the school district with lifeguards? Are we pay-wise around that? I mean, and maybe competing's not the right word. Are we losing lifeguards to them, or are we just, where do we stand with that? How much is Loch Lloyd paying? Do you know? And what are we at, 13, 14?
We're 14, paying for certifications.
Okay, thank you.
But Loch Lloyd's getting the ones that we certify at this time, so. And we are working at minimizing that as well, coming up with some sort of procedure to keep people from getting certified and then leaving. There'll be a certain term that they have to fulfill with us before they move on.
Any other questions on aquatics?
Sorry, I just had a comment, and I only know this because my daughter is in the class, but I know they have swim classes at the high school. Okay. So in addition to, I think, swim team, which are competitive swimmers that probably have like really crazy schedules, you might be able to pull from the kids that are not on team but are going through an entire semester of swim lessons, essentially at the high school.
I was just going to add that right now, I think it's a good time to talk about, we've lost a lot of our lifeguard team to college and high school sports, the clubs, band. And so we have a pretty good amount of lifeguards, but we're having a problem getting our schedule demand filled because their availability. And so Shannon's been working her tail off, battling this scheduling headache all summer long. It's okay to talk about it. And she's done a tremendous job keeping both facilities open. And here we are, the outdoor pool is closed, and now we're having a real struggle getting our indoor pool staffed. So I think it's fair to communicate that, so.
So are we at the point where we're looking at reducing hours again?
Guess that's where I was asking, is that where we're going with that statement?
Yes, at this time we have. So as of now, the rec pool is closed from 11:30 to 4 p.m. during the week.
How long is that going to continue, do you think?
Well, we're working on that right now, but indefinitely at this time.
I was just going to say, it's always our goal to be open 100% of our hours of operation. But what we can't do is we can't have an expectation of being open and then show up. Folks travel. Some of them travel 5 minutes, some of them travel 20 minutes to get here, and then on a day we don't have any schedule. So we don't have enough, because we do have minimums amount of lifeguards. Dave, as you know, we have to have a minimum out there, and so sometimes it's best just to make a short-term decision, hoping we can get it fixed, which is kind of where we're at right now, through the month of August, and then we'll reassess.
Is this a problem industry-wide?
Yeah.
This has been a nationwide issue for 15 plus years. All over the place, and we're all in the same boat. Kids are just teenagers are overbooked. They have way too much going on. 20 years ago, we worked out before, you did all the time.
Where are you advertising, for the most part, to find staff and lifeguards?
That's a great question. So I'm working with Emily with HR. And I know she has it out all of the things. She even has specialized saying between 5 a.m. and 4 p.m., like those hours. I know, the Facebook, the social medias, all of those, the board, flyers. This last class, it was word of mouth by our current staff. So we're trying to do like a game with them, like competition, like who can bring in the most people, win a prize. So, I mean.
I was just trying to think about like the demographics of the individuals that are, good lifeguard candidates, and I'm thinking like college students. So UMKC and Avila and all the colleges that are close by, and the maybe bulletin boards at those locations are collaborating with their.
That and Emily is working on trying to get a date so we can go out there and.
Anybody else have any questions, comments?
I would just say if we know it's gonna be closed from 11:30 to 4, we probably should post that somewhere. If it's not posted.
It's posted, it's been communicated through our Send in Blue system, website, email. I don't know if we got it up on the billboard, or not the billboard, but our marquee. But
you
through our
have it
normal
posted at the-
channels of communicating with our members where they know to go find the information, it's been sent. Now, the day passers, it's kind of a crapshoot. We don't really have a way of getting a hold of them.
Are you going to post it at the entrance too?
I would post it. I only say because my daughter went there today.
Yeah.
And was like,
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Shannon. High Blue's in the packet. There's 3 items highlighted there. Annette, do you need to highlight anything?
How do you turn this on? There we go. The walking club was the only thing that I kind of wanted to highlight. I met with the wellness committee with Carla on Friday, and we decided to do this walking club in September for a citywide walking club. So we'll be doing that at High Blue, but also at the other parks at Cleveland Lake and also at Memorial Park. And it's going to be a citywide, trying to get employees to go out at 11 o'clock and actually take a 30-minute walk and invite members too of the community to come and join us. So, yeah.
Excellent. Any other questions about High Blue? Marketing, quite a bit going on in marketing. Brandon, anything you want to highlight there?
No, we just wanted to put everything that's coming up through the end of the year, to put the dates out there so that you at least know what's coming, and there's a lot. I do want to say our fingers are crossed. We're hoping to hear on the LWCF grant as early as September. So we can prepare bid packets, but that's about all we can do until we get the official word. And plans are underway. We'll celebrate High Blue's 25th anniversary in November with an open house, and recognizing some of our members or committed members who've been here a long time, and we'll do some fun things that day.
Excellent.
How's the traffic or the fall look for Memorial Station?
Actually, Memorial Station's doing really well right now. And I know we're going in, stripping the floors, so it's gonna get a new look after summer camp's been out, so, no, things are going well.
Is there another Friday night food truck night coming up, or has that already been?
Just missed it.
Oh, I was out
Yep.
of town, so, okay.
Any other questions or comments on marketing? Right now, we move on to parks and facilities. It's in your packet as well. I know they've been working hard on some of the items that you see in there, and pictures are attached in your packet. Nick, anything you need to highlight?
Nothing to highlight. We've just been working really hard with all the projects, and it seems like we're making a lot of progress in a lot of different directions.
I got 2 things. First of all, the trail's beautiful. Alex described it as it's like butter, didn't you? It's beautiful. The cement at the drive parts.
We're hoping to rip those out tomorrow, and they'll be replaced this week.
Beautiful. And my lights?
Evergy's been working on them. I actually have a new contact who's been really responsive. He's working on Memorial, Wallace, and Markey. And I got them on Cimarron too, but that's bottom of the list for them. So
Okay.
it should be getting better soon.
And just to give you, if you're on the trail over, where are we at? Like Mullen, where the corner is, I call it the bunny trail, the one that goes underneath all the lights have been out there. And I've been harassing Nick about it. So
When was the last time you walked on it? Just curious.
May, only because I tore my meniscus and haven't been able to run, so.
They might be fixed now. I need to do a nighttime drive-through again.
Well, you're probably up at 5. Go check it out, man.
It's breaking, the sun's coming up
Just
at
kidding
5,
with you.
come on. Brian, do you have something else?
Yeah, I was just going to add that Superior Bowen, who's doing the city streets, they're going to fit our project in, I believe, Monday, the 25th. So we've communicated that to the members. It's going to either be a 2 or a 3-day project. I think they were going to decide when they got there. And that is the drive in and out of High Blue. So another improvement there in Wallace Park, so.
Excellent. Any other comments?
So the drive in and out, like the entire driveway in and out of, so are they shutting High Blue down?
No, there's a strategy behind it. So it'll actually be split in half and that'd be two-way traffic down the one half that they're not doing. And then once it's done, they'll swap. So, yeah.
Any other questions or comments on facilities maintenance? Recreation is in the packet. I just want to highlight, I know Joaquin's not here this evening, but I just want to highlight summer camp. Heard nothing but great things about that this year. I think they had, they mentioned the last 3 weeks, it's the highest they've had in the last 5 years. So that's a great thing. Any questions on
I do know that
recreation?
the tournament now, it's full since
Your
they've
mic
done.
on.
I think so.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I checked like the sign up for the tournament, so it's gonna be a full thing that day, so.
And when is that tournament?
The 13th of September.
Adrian, can you kind of explain for the new folks?
Oh, I'm sorry, the disc golf tournament out. In conjunction with, I guess, Main Street, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff. Cool. The Fall Festival, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, any other questions, comments on the recreation? Hearing none, we move into finance, and Jennifer?
Hello. Things are going well. There's a lot of expenditures that you're going to see. Currently, right, you're seeing that expenditures in the Park General Fund, and you're going to see a lot more come through next month. So look for that. In our summary, this first one, the budgeted versus actuals for the 4 months. Property taxes, you'll see that variance is a little, it's about 20% below. That is not unexpected. There's a fluctuation with the property taxes, so that's reflecting fluctuations in those taxes, delinquent payments, et cetera, during the summer. And then I explained in the expenditures that significant 69% is all of the budgeted items that are kind of coming through and clearing. Any questions?
Looks like July, the sales tax jumped up again, which is good to see, over June. Any other questions?
I'm curious about the aquatic center going up. Is that because it's not open as much, or?
It's a pool.
Well, okay, you're just talking about because of the
I'm
month
not,
to
I don't
month.
mean to be that flippant,
Yeah,
but,
no.
you know, a lot of pools tend to lose money and things like that.
The running joke is the fact that if you see water, you're losing money, and that's usually what happens for pools. But what is the
What was
question
the
again?
question?
Well, it looks like it raised 10%. That's why I was curious.
mean
Oh,
the
the
reven-
expenses raised 10%. I apologize.
I mean, the revenues or the
I was looking under revenues.
aquatic center revenues went up from 33.5 to 36, so up by 10%.
Looks like about $3,300.
So that's revenue.
Yeah.
Oh,
It just
so-
seemed surprising. We were just talking about having difficulty getting people to work and staff, and yet we're making more, like the revenue has gone up. So I just was curious about that.
Some of that may be swim lessons. Oh,
And I don't think we were closed during the summer, were we? We didn't have short hours during the summer. That's what's happening now due to all the kids going back to school.
that's High Blue though.
Yeah. Any other questions for finance? Moving on to recreation, they did not meet Building and Grounds did not meet. What about Personnel, Dave?
We did not meet.
Speaking of the standing committee reports, I just wanted to talk about that for especially the new board members. We handle a lot of our business through committees. We have the Finance Committee, we have a Personnel Committee, and as you see, we have Recreation and Building and Grounds. They'll meet and get together, and a motion usually comes out of there that they bring to the board, which speeds up this process. Sometimes it can get kind of lengthy in the committee meeting, but they handle it at the committee side of it, then they bring the motion to us then. We will be, two of the people that did not get reappointed, both were chairs of, one was chair of Rec, the other was chair of Building and Grounds. So Dave and I will have to get together and with Brian's input and try to restructure the committees so we can start meeting again.
And if any of the new folks, if there's any committees that sound interesting to you or that you'd like to be on, please let us know and we can move forward like that.
Any unfinished business? Hearing none. New business. We have flooring at the High Blue. We have a bid sheet there. Who's handling this one, Brian?
I will.
Kevin?
So in your bid packet is the bid tab for the replacement of flooring in High Blue. We are replacing the kids' corner, the aerobics rooms, and the TRX room. So we opened the bids. We had 4 bids. One of those did not have a bid bond present, as noted in the bid tab.
Can I interrupt that, Kevin, real quick? Just because I don't know. I know what a bid bond is and I understand them. But why do we even entertain this guy if he didn't have a bid bond?
Because we didn't know till we opened up the sealed packet
Thank
that
you.
it was not there.
And is that a Belton business?
Which one?
Flooring and more?
I don't believe so. Lisa, yeah. So after looking at the bids, as you can see, there is quite a bit of difference, kind of like we saw with the gym floor. But at this time, staff would recommend going with Sports Pro Surfacing in the amount of $49,339.
Are you familiar with them at all?
No. Don't they buy direct? So we met with them and kind of discussed some flooring options for another project, and then they come in and wanted to bid on this project as well. So we told them that it would be going out to bid, along with, we had communications with all the other contractors as well.
What type of?
Are they local, Kevin, or have they done other projects? in
No,
the
they're
area?
not local. They're from all around the city.
But have they done any other projects on flooring that you know of?
We've
or
got their
heard?
references, and they're in the packet. I can get those to you.
So I will just jump in here. So, Brian this particular individual came by. He was recommended by Mike McGraw, who we have purchased, at least twice that I know of since I've been here in 7 years, our, equipment from. And he specializes in sports, flooring and turf. So one of the reasons I suspect his bid was lower than the others is his buying power, since that's all, he specializes in the type of floors that we actually had spec'd. And so he came recommended from Mike McGraw, who's highly regarded in the fitness area, in the Kansas City area. And like Kevin said, they are required to provide references as part of their RFP requirement.
What type of flooring are we talking about putting in?
So it'll be, I think one is called the Beast. It's like a 10.5 millimeter thick rubber flooring. And then the aerobics room will be it'll be the same as the multi-purpose rooms, that graphite flooring.
E-core.
E-core, yeah.
With
And
the
then
jo-
there will be some turf, a little area of turf in the TRX room where they can push some sleds and stuff like that.
With a job this size, would there be a performance bond required?
Yes, all bonding, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Payment, performance, maintenance.
Have you seen any of his work?
I have not personally, no.
Can I say something? He does have a huge gallery online to look at, and right now he is doing a big project for St. Pius. I don't know, it's the college, whatever, but it's a huge, huge project for them.
Was this a budgeted item?
Yes.
I may make a motion to approve the bid for Sport Pro surfacing at $49,339.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other new business? Any announcements? Hearing none. I make a motion to adjourn at 7:02. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.